Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Samya and today marks the beginning of an exciting new video series where we will dive deep into the world of SQL. Whether you are an absolute beginner, a student, or someone brushing up their database skills, this series is for you. We will start from the basic like what SQL is, how it works, and gradually move into writing queries, managing database, and even handling real world projects. So, if you have ever been curious about how data is managed behind the scene, you are in the right place. If you are ready, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started. In today's video, we will answer the most basic but important question: What is SQL? Why is it so important, and where is it used in real life? I will also give you a quick demo of how a SQL query looks, so stick around till the end. So, first, what is SQL? So, first one is that what is SQL? So, let me explain. So, what exactly is SQL? So, SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It's a standard language used to communicate with and manage data in relational database management system, or RDBMS for short. Now, let's be clear, SQL is not a database, it's a language we use to interact with databases. You can think of it as tool to create, read, update, and delete data, often referred as a CRUD operations. SQL is especially useful when you are dealing with organized, structured data, meaning data that stored in tables made up of rows and columns, where different tables can be connected to each other through relationships. In simple terms, if you ever wanted to ask a database questions like, "Hey, give me all the customers from Delhi," you will do that using SQL. So here, what I have explained. Here is the brief notes for important notes for that what SQL really is. So, SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is the standard language for relational database management system. It is a language which is used to communicate or interact and manipulate the database. It is especially useful in handling organized data comprised of entities. Entities are also known as variables and relation between different entities of the data. It is not a database, it is a language used to interact with the database. So, now, the second question arises is like, why do we need database? And the second question is, why do we need database? Now, you might wonder, why do we even need a database in the first place? Well, without a proper database system, managing data becomes really messy and problematic. Here are some reasons why, like data redundancy and inconsistency. What does it means like data redundancy and inconsistency? When data is stored in multiple places without proper management, the same piece of information might get duplicated unnecessarily. This led a redundancy, and worse, these copy might not match, cause inconsistency. And the second point is data isolation. What does it data isolation means? In traditional systems, data is scattered across different files and locations. It becomes difficult to access related data together when it's isolated like that. And then, um, like third one is limited data access. Without a database, accessing specific data or generating reports become complex and time consuming. A database simplifies this by allowing efficient data retrieval using queries. Now, the last point is security and integrity issues. When there is no central control over data, securing sensitive information and maintaining its accuracy become a big challenge. Databases offer security features like user permission and data integrity constraint to solve this. And that's exactly why we need database to keep our data organized, secure, and easy to manage. So here are the points. So why do we need database? Now the third question arises is, why do we need to communicate with the database? Well, it's pretty simple. We need to communicate with the database to either store data or to retrieve data. For example, when you are sign up for a new account on a website, your details like name, email, and password get stored in a database, and later when you logged in, the website retrieves your information from the database to verify your identity. So, whether it's adding new data, updating existing information, or fetching specific records, communication between an application and the database is essential. And that's exactly where SQL comes in. It's a language that made this communication possible. Then, next question arises: Why do we store? Why do we store the data? The next question arises is: Why do we store data? Now, why do we store data? So we can access it whenever we need it, whether it's whether it's customer details, product information, or transaction records. Having it stored safely in the database means we can retrieve, update, or delete it at any time. We use SQL for CRUD operations. Like, what is CRUD? And to work with the data, we use something called CRUD operations in SQL. CRUD stands for create, read, update, and delete. The four basic functions you perform on any data. Let me quickly explain each one. Create, used to create a new database tables and insert new record into those tables. We can also call it as add create or add. Now, second point is read or retrieve. Used to read or retrieve existing data from the database. For example, getting a list of all students from the student table. Update, now update or modify. Used to modify existing data in the database, like changing a customer's phone number, etc. Now, delete or drop. Used to remove data, either a specific row, multiple row, or even an entire table, a database if needed. So whenever you hear something say there is working with a database, it usually involves these CRUD operations. And SQL is the tool we use to perform them. Now the question arises is, how does SQL works? How does SQL works? So now let's talk about how SQL actually works behind the scene. When the user writes a SQL query like asking for a list of customer from Delhi, that query is sent to the database server. Inside that database server, there is something called an SQL engine. This engine is responsible for understanding your query, checking whether the data you asked for exists, and then processing that request. The SQL engine searches through the database, and if it finds the requested data, it retrieves it and sends it back to the user. If the data is not found, it returns an empty result of an error message, depending on the query. So in short, user send request, server receives it, SQL engine process it, data is found or not, result is sent back to the user. That's the basic workflow of how SQL makes it possible to interact with the database. Understand? Now, in whole questions, we are like data, we are repeating the word called data. The now simple terms in the question arises: what is data? Before we will dive deeper into database and SQL, it's important to understand what is data. In simple term, data is a raw fact or piece of information that describes the attributes of an entity. It could be number, text, image, or any kind of information is stored in computer's memory. This data can be later used by a website, an application, or any system to process, display, or store for future use. For example, let's take a mobile phone as an entity. It has several properties like brand. Like, for example, we take properties of phone like brand. Brand is like, for example, OnePlus. Camera is 50 megapixel, RAM is 8 GB, storage is 128 GB, processor is Snapdragon 600. These are the example. Now, in this case, the term like brand, camera, RAM, storage, processor, battery, and price are called attributes, and their respective values like 1 plus 50 MP, 8 GB, etc. are the raw facts or data about that phone. This is exactly the kind of information we store in databases to use, manage, or analyze later. These are all the raw facts. Now, in this video, this is enough for this video. So, thank you for so, thanks a lot for watching till the end. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Also, let me know in the comment what topic you would like to see next. I would like to hear from you. In the next video, we will covering about what is database, what is RDBMS, DBMS, all these topics. So stay tuned. All right, friends, that's it for today's video. If you learned something new, hit that like button, share it, and subscribe for more SQL tutorials. Comment below what topic you want next, and I will see you in the next videos. Take care.